Well, today we're going to take a look at Luke chapter 3. Now we got to remember, this is a letter that Luke is writing to Theophilus. And, the storyline's going, how'd you like to write a letter this long? We're up to chapter 3, and 3 is a turning point. Now, this is when Christ actually gets baptized. But there's a whole lot more in this story than sometimes people realize. If you study all four Gospels, Luke's is the only one in this sequence of time, nails it to who's in office, who's in ruling, who is over every part of that particular part of Israel, including Pilate. Now, it doesn't, in all the other four Gospels, nobody's that specific. Now, why is that important? Well, when you look at it, by nailing that time frame down, Luke is indicating the 7th week of Daniel, 70th week of Daniel is coming. It started. Now it's what we would call AD 27. And all of a sudden things are going to start happening. Now, the guy he's writing the letter to probably didn't know much about Daniel 9. But later centuries when people started to study it, this is the section that they used to actually validate that Daniel's 70th week started in AD 27, and that's when Jesus was baptized and started his ministry. Without this particular section in Luke 3, there's not a whole lot to put your anchor on that starting date. So that starts the time. Okay, number 2, the hearts had to be prepared, right? So Luke goes back and quotes back to, I believe it's Isaiah, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make ready the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every raven will be filled, every mountain and hill will be brought low, the crooked will become straight, the rough roads will become smooth, and all the flesh will see the salvation of God. Did you ever wonder why all the religious leaders were out after John the Baptist? Why he was out there doing these things? I believe behind the scenes, they actually knew it was time for Messiah. Because what did they ask him? Are you Messiah? And the people kept asking me, are you the Messiah? And John kept saying, no, I'm not a Messiah. No, I'm not Isaiah. No, I'm not any of those folks. I'm not Elijah. All I am is one in the wilderness. But they knew the time had come. And the people were responsive to that. They just said, we got to get this right then. I want to be ready when the Messiah comes. And so that was the initiative that people were going out in such groves to do it. And it hadn't happened before. Well, the time had come. The Lord had ordained it. This was it. And you get to the point now that you get to Jesus actually, during this verse, accepting his mission. Right? He says, okay, I need to be baptized. He goes to be baptized. He comes out of the water. God validates it's about to start. The Holy Spirit spends something down to start it. And Jesus himself realizes it. This is when my mission's going to start. And John at this point says, I need to become lesser. And this man, nobody asks if he's Messiah, notice. Maybe they're a little frightened after not getting an answer from John the Baptist. But they never asked Jesus, are you the Messiah? But it's confirmed by God that he was, and he was starting his mission. Then Luke goes through the long section in the end of 3, which covers the long lineage of Christ. Now, Matthew only takes it back to Abraham. But Luke takes it all the way back to Adam. Now, again, why is that important? Well, it confirms again, if anybody was studying their Bible and wanted another confirmation that really Jesus was the one to come as Messiah, this lineage breakdown takes them all the way back to what? The seed of the woman that was promised. So you have a number of validations going on here that Jesus has come, the time is right, and this man is the Messiah because his legacy goes all the way back to Garden of Eden. So, as we proceed from this point on, we know the mission has started. Now, from this point on, we're going to study how the mission goes.